Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, Greg.
All right.
Good.
Right. So real quick, Daniel, your character is a halfling barbarian, correct?
A tender-footed, fleet-footed, fleet-footed halfling barbarian.
I love
Yes,
it.
she is.
Okay.
I love it.
So I need to get see if I can find a halfling portrait real quick to work for her.
So,
That's
I
cool.
thought
A halfling barbarian. I like that.
I thought we imported her.
We did. I mean a portrait. Her character
Oh.
sheet's here. I just get
I don't see
portrait
it.
for her token. Nah,
No.
I've got them on a different layer at the moment.
Ah,
And I'm looking
Oh.
for hers, looking for one that'll work for her.
ha.
These will be stand-ins. These are temporary because I haven't had a chance to actually draw them yet, so I'm just kind of grabbing from our free...
Okay, so
That's because we all just made him, right?
go try to find more barbarian look than halfling look.
Okay.
Like, I'm thinking that's somewhere in the vestiges of a Viking, headspace
Sure.
with the braids / shaved / marking / blonde, blue eye,
This is the
Oh my
best I
God,
can do for now.
you should make
and
her
you'll
a
see here in
wolf
just a
rider.
second. What is...
Well, you see, she is a great axe master.
Nice.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
So she's as a halfling, she's fleet-footed, she's nimble, she's about 3'2",
Okay.
but her great axe is probably 4'6".
Oh, so it's a lot bigger than her. Got it.
So, like, she could stand it up and walk underneath the axe head.
Nice.
I like it.
But she has military background, right? So her barbarianism,
Oh, God.
heritage was then kind of molded by an elf military.
Nice.
And so she's got this she's very barbaric in, like, I will literally come at you and eat your face. But then as you see her moves in a fighting style, it's very, very graceful, right? So it's got this grace, this fierce grace happening.
I don't know if our two characters are going to get along real well.
She's not unfriendly yet.
No. It's not that. It's just you're so military. I'm so not.
Takes all
Well-
types.
Well, I want to say that the barbarian in her is strong.
Okay, cool.
Is strong with her.
I love it.
The barbarian is strong with.
Long as we are on this kick of describing our new characters, how about you, Sarah?
Oh, well, my new character is Ashkorian. You just call her Ash for short.
Okay.
She's a Sharakai, which means although she is an elf, she does not have elvish type ears. She has more human type ears. She's kind of an alabaster skin. Her hair is dyed orange. You can tell it's dyed because there's a little black at the roots. And it's all braided and stuff with feathers and beads and all that. And she's a cleric of the Raven Queen.
Cool.
And that means grave domain.
Yep.
Which I've decided, because her background is an archaeologist, I had to reconcile that with
Interesting.
being a disciple of the Raven Queen. And so what I decided is that she will look for, archaeological pursuits and all that, finds. She will not touch bodies because she does not want to disturb the dead. But she will
Okay.
definitely look at grave goods and things
Right.
like that.
Right.
Okay, so that's how I had to reconcile it. But yeah, she's from a large family of Shardakai because I didn't know what I was making, so I made 3 characters Shardakai, and they're all the same family. But
From a unexperienced player, what is Shardakai?
they're a type of elf that broke off when. Okay, I don't know how much do you know about elves, Daniel?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't know any lore when it comes to loring. I just make stuff up.
Let me see if I
Okay.
can find the quick
So-
summary.
So when the god of the elves, he was just like kind of like la la la, you know, and all that. And Lolth, the Spider Queen, she's like, no, you can't be just la la la. So she took a bunch of people. So there's this split between the elves, the drow, and all the other elves.
Okay, well, I think I was familiar with that split.
Okay. So anyway, when she did that, I can't remember her real name, but the Raven Queen was an elf who wanted to become a god, and she took her people to Shadowfell. And that's the Shardakai.
Okay.
And so we're an elf that's kind of more human looking. I don't know. I don't know how to
Sure.
expand that. I mean, she has no whites of her eyes. Her eyes are just black.
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
But I don't know how to describe it. They're different. And so they kind of split off from Lalth and Elrond or something like that. I think that's his name. They're like a third race of elves.
Yeah.
Sure, not quite
They're-
drow, but certainly not high elf.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
All right.
And they're mostly ashen, so and with black hair and black eyes. So to make up for that, now my character's hair is dyed orange, and we tend to go with colorful clothing and things like that
To make up
Because-
for the Stark.
to make up for the stark of our being. We wear colorful clothing, and that's why my character has feathers and beads in her hair and everything. So, okay. Next.
All right. How about you, Eric?
Alright, so how am I coming in? Am I coming in alright? I've had to mute and unmute a lot.
Yeah, you're coming in okay. Sounds like you might be brushing the mic a little bit, but other than that, it's good. Or somebody might be. I'm not sure who.
Yeah, it wasn't me, but I do hear that.
Yeah.
That's why I know it wasn't me. So yeah, I've got Barton Black. He's a young, lithe, black-haired, scruffy sort of kid. He's only 19. And did anyone ever see the movie Dredd?
Which one?
The movie Dredd, not Judge Dredd with Stallone, but Dredd, the one
Yes.
with
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in Dredd, the premise is that these criminals had taken over this apartment complex
Yep.
that went, several stories high, and the essentially they were broken down into chunks of control as far as the floors go, and the big bad was at the top. So the way I look at it is, the Thieves Guild of the area. I haven't come up with a town name. They essentially took over an old castle that was, very much, very vertical in nature. And, whenever they would recruit people, they'd be working at the bottom, and then as you did good by the guild, you worked your way up and you got higher station.
In a
And
quite
that
literal
was called
sense,
the
too.
stack.
Okay.
So,
The stack, like in Ready Player One.
well, now it's not going to be called the stack because no,
Oh,
I don't
no.
want to do that.
I'm just curious. I just finished watching the movie the other day.
Yeah, I suppose that was called the stacks, but anyway. So there's a vertical component to station in that, and he is noted as the youngest member to have his own tower. A corner tower.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Very cool.
He worked his way up to
Nice.
the top corner.
Cool.
So he's very, very selfish, very, world hardened, and yeah, all about the material gain.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. I think I need to watch you if I'm doing an archaeological dig.
Absolutely. And by the way, when you said grave goods, I had never heard those described as such, and I was thinking that's the name of like a really shady thrift store.
Yeah, it's the first merchant quest from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Don't you remember?
I don't remember that, but-
Yeah.
oh,
it was
God.
literally like a new merchant opened store and was getting goods from unknown places and wasn't checking his sources, and sure enough, it was grave robbers.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. How about you, Michelle?
Well, Dan, what was your character's name?
You see, I didn't realize that we were going into that formalness. I was just excited about my character. Her name is Zanella.
Zanella. I'm writing all this down. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And she still cringes when someone recognizes the name
Nothing.
because, and this is not necessarily common knowledge, but I'll tell you as players what it is.
Okay.
The name comes from a famous story of the romance variety, where the woman was a woman of the night, as it were.
Dan?
I'm sorry. Yes?
No, I was just going to ask you, my voice connection, my sound totally dropped. What's
Oh.
her name?
Zanella.
Zanella. Okay.
Think Xena, but with an Ella. So Zanella.
Zanella.
Right?
Okay, thank you.
And Zanella happens to be this famous romance novel character that her mother chose to name her daughter after. And here's this military girl who's just will literally beat your ass down and is quick to a fight, bar brawl and everything. Barbarian. Who's named after the daintiest, most alluring, most woman that is kind of known if you happen to run across people. So every once in a while she'll get into a social setting where somebody recognizes the name, and it does still bring that certain level of embarrassment and cringiness that you would expect.
I twitch.
So, should we call her the Warrior Princess?
I don't think that would go over well.
Really? That was Xena's nickname.
Well, I
Warrior
realize that, but she's not a princess. That she
Who
knows
cares? Who
Okay,
cares?
Let's move on, please. You were saying, Michelle?
My character, her name is Tick, and she is a half-orc gunslinger.
A what?
Half-orc gunslinger.
Okay.
Normally when people, think of half-orcs, they think of them as, pretty, big and, tall and muscular. Well, she's not. She's more of, a slim, 5'2" variety half-orc. Very much more human features than orc, but she is the characteristic, green and tan patches of skin. with tusks. She's got long, like down to her butt black hair that she usually keeps up in a ponytail. And since she's a gunslinger, she does have a pistol on her that she uses more often than her like crossbow. She comes from a village of basically orphaned half-orcs that kind of banded together and in order to survive, and through that they've kind of created their own gunpowder and out of like bat guano and stuff like that. So they created these little pellets that you can shoot out of the guns and can create their own ammo like that. And so they would go around and try to usurp other orc encampments that wouldn't let them in because they were half orcs. So she's very quiet, very calculating, and doesn't take any shit.
All right.
Nice.
The four of you are joined by another man who has explained to you that he's much older than he looks. His name is Saren Aegishart, and for all intents and purposes, he looks like a human, for a few subtle differences. And he's a sorcerer. He's introduced himself as such, as wearing simple robes, carrying a quarterstaff and a dagger. A quarterstaff that is his arcane focus, and I'll describe that in a moment. But he's relatively pale-skinned. You notice it's flawless. He almost never has to shave. And his hair is perfectly straight. It looks like incredibly fine strands of silver. It has a distinctly metallic sheen to it. And his eyes are just kind of, they look like crystal balls filled with fog. Just kind of a glassy sheen to them with a whitish smoke inside. And he's kind of stoic most of the time, but any time that you've seen him, he seems to have a soft spot for children. Like his face lights up and he smiles, and he'll toss around the urchins in the street and that sort of thing. But he's otherwise somewhat emotionless. He's always wearing a looks like a stained glass circlet. And every now and then, kind of like those fidget rings, there's the stained glass portion of it seems to rotate around his head on its own. But the circlet stays in place. And he explains to you he's an Asimar.
What is that?
The celestial equivalent of a tiefling. Somewhere back in Saren's bloodline, as opposed to there being some sort of demonic deal or demonic joining, I suppose, or demonic mating, there was a celestial version of that, and it has appeared it has basically shown itself in his bloodline.
Huh.
And that is a player race. You can find it in, I think it's just in the DMG, but it's also you can find it like Unearthed Arcana online. But that's actually a holdover from 3.5. But the five of you have banded together, found yourselves to be all essentially mercenaries out interested for personal gain in a lot of the sense, or for whether it's personal gain or whether it's following the Raven Queen to do archaeology for her. There's some reason that you've needed an adventuring party. And you've kind of all done your research and looking about, and over the course of the last few weeks or so, the five of you have gathered together, and you decided we're an adventuring party now, and the first thing to do is to set out of this backwater town and find somewhere else that will have work for us, so we can each further our individual goals. And your third night out, you're crossing through some woods. You settle down to make camp in the woods, and it's at this point that you're kind of comfortable falling asleep around each other. The first 2 nights were kind of hard. You were eyeing each other warily, not sure, are you going to steal from each other? But it felt like there's been an established now, okay, we're not going to fuck with each other. We're in this together kind of feeling. And whoever decides to keep watch notices that the nights, it's kind of foggy. I mean, you all notice this before you bed down anyway. So you've got to kind of keep the fire stoked and lit. And as the night wears on, the fog presses in and in and in and gets thicker and thicker until the trees immediately around you in the clearing, on the outside of your little clearing where you're camping, are gray ghosts. A few more hours pass. Eventually, the sun rises behind overcast clouds, and as the mist recedes, you realize these are not the trees that you fell asleep next to. Good morning, adventurers. What would you like to do? And all of you are kind of awake at this point, and it's all dawned on you that, where you camped for the night is not where you've awoken. And you have no memory of moving. There's no sign of tracks or sleepwalking or anything like that, and nobody seems harmed. No one's belongings are missing. But you are not where you fell asleep.
Do we have any sense of what time of day it is?
Appears to be morning. It's very cloudy morning. Okay. Chilly here too.
My first question would be, who had last watch?
Let's see. We have a D6. It was Saren.
I would just... Alright. What's your deal? You trying to sell us into slavery? Take us somewhere? I want to know.
He frowns. Certainly not. I was woken up to take my watch. It was foggy. Could barely see the trees on the outside of our clearing here. And, nothing really changed. It just stayed foggy. Hard to see. I even paced the perimeter once or twice, touched the trees.
So the world moved around us then.
He shrugs. I mean, I've heard of stranger things in magic, but it's certainly beyond my own power.
Do you know where we are?
I've no idea. He looks up and he's like, the forest we camped in was deciduous. This is evergreen.
And you saw nothing?
I swear to you on my life.
Tick kind of gets up and walks around, not too far away from the party, but just trying to get a sense of pathways or trying to find some sense of tracks, like human markings, as it were.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy to find a nearby gravel path. With the fog is pretty thick, but it's not so thick that you can't find that while the embers of your campfire are still behind you and still within sight. And that's easy to see, and you're pretty easily able to determine north with relative ease, finding some moss growing on the sides of trees.
I'll come back to the party and be like, point back to where I found the tracks. There's tracks over here, so we're not
It's a gravel
completely
road, just
alone.
to be clear.
Excuse me, yes. There's a gravel road over there, so we're not too far away from civilization, I'd expect.
So, considering where we came from, what was the state of the roads of the area that we were from?
I would say not gravel, but the closest thing to paved, just a very, very nice cart path that you'd probably peeled, maybe twice this far off of that, so it was quiet where you were camping.
Sure,
but it was very heavily traveled path that was a little bit nicer than this gravel.
So suffice it to say, another mark of this is very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Does this look like an ancient roadway?
Make a history check.
Give me just a second. I want to warm up my die before I roll it. Holy crap. That's a natural 18 plus history is 4, so 22.
Jeez. All right. So with a 22 at level 1 on a history check,
I'm an archaeologist.
you know that not only is this gravel old and well-worn, well-traveled, many boots have stomped over this gravel road.
Mm.
And you can tell that because the gravel toward the edges of the road is considerably bigger in grain toward the gravel toward the middle, which is more broken down, in some places almost sand-like, and there's a slight curve to this path. You also know with that history check that this stone is not native to anywhere that you were near for thousands of miles.
Oh, wow.
You've somehow moved over a couple thousand miles in your sleep in a matter of hours, and you have no idea where you are right now. Aside from thanks
I
to
should
Tick knowing
say-
which way is north.
To the others, friends, we are nowhere where we were before. This is someplace different. This should not be here, this pathway.
I'll tell you what shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here.
Us,
No.
says Saren in agreement. Yeah.
I shrugged.
None of us should be here. This is old.
But we are. We can't do anything about it except move on. Let's go. Get your gear together.
What?
Saren kind of reacts like somebody like when you slap a horse and he just kind of oh yes, and he kind of Saren is, by the way, he's about 7 feet tall and just rail thin. About as thin as Barton. He's just a little bit beefier because he has to be for 7 feet tall.
Yeah. Upon hearing that, let's go, I turn around, snap my boots together, give a fake salute, followed by a very big eye roll, and go back to whatever the hell I was doing. Yeah.
You do note with how he moves, how he keeps his pack and his tent, that Saren seems to have a military background of some sort as well.
Tell you what, you can make all the ruckus about getting into gear, and I'll just follow around and not be with the person making a shit ton of noise. How about that?
I'm sorry, my sound went out again. What did you say?
I basically said, how about this? You take all that military stuff and all that shit ton of noise, and I'll follow close behind, and you can attract everything else. Let's do that.
Okay, thank you.
Tick is like, she kind of just sleeps in her coat. She doesn't really have a tent or anything like that, so she just kind of shrugs and is like, I'm ready.
Saren takes a minute to finish gathering his things, finish the final prep on his spell book or not spell book. I'm sorry, I went with sorcerer, not wizard. The final just kind of organization of his things, and collects his belongings into his pack and slings it over his back and starts kind of nods at Zanella and says, "All right, lead the way." And his staff is it's his arcane focus. It's about as tall as he is. It's actually right at as tall as he is, and it's gripping what looks like a raw garnet about the size of his fist at the top of it, and it's got a circular blade that encircles the entire top of that staff. It's got little runes all the way across it.
Nice.
Interesting.
I'll follow behind Zen.
Oh yeah, she while everybody was bickering, and going on about being, we're not where we used to be, blah, 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 blah. You know, she got all her stuff together and was, already scouting a path to the road and figured out what needed to happen, where they needed to go. So she just starts walking.
All right, cool.
And if people want to follow, they can. If they don't, okay.
So, I'll be following, but I'll be checking the road as I go. I'm looking for, like, I don't know, something significant along this road, like some carved stones or something that I can take a rubbing of. That kind of thing.
Sure.
Because this is a new place. This is my dream.
Exactly. Fascinating for an archaeologist, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
So you're walking down this unfamiliar pathway and headed toward what look to be the outlines of buildings, and sure enough, this gravel road leads you to a village. That's pretty much the first significant thing you see. You must have passed the latest signpost for it along this trail, because you never saw one. You just happen upon this village, and its tall houses are dark as tombstones. Nestled among these solemn dwellings are a handful of closed-up shops. Even the tavern is shut tight. A soft whimpering draws your eye toward a pair of children standing in the middle of an otherwise lifeless street.
Have we seen each other in action before, or are we just newly grouped?
We are newly grouped, with everyone having told everybody basically of your proficiencies.
Sure, but we've not seen each other actually
Do the
in
things
action
yet.
doing anything, right?
Correct.
We haven't done the thing.
All right, cool. So as Zen walks into this village, and as she's been walking along this trail with whether somebody's beside her or behind her, whatever, she looks awkward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's carrying this axe that's bigger than her, plus all her stuff, and she's this little bitty thing, right? It just seems mean, but just got a weird clumsiness about her as she goes into town. And the first thing you'll see is that she will, her halfling nature shows up as she's very empathetic towards those children and goes right over to them.
Yes, Aaron's close behind you.
What?
So, as she goes towards the children, I would like to examine them from a distance, because I think, I see two unattended children. I think they're pickpockets in training. I want to look for any signs of that.
Let's see if I can show you this. I don't know if it's going to let me show the... Oh, here we go. Named NPCs. Perhaps they will have it under... Here we go. Here we are. Show to players. Show to everyone. So here are our little Barovian children.
Nope.
Yeah, if that's what you call them, Jesus.
That's kind of a no. Yeah.
I'm staying far behind. I'm with Barton, and I'm just eyeing them.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking them up and down. Like I know they're up to something. Kids in the middle of the night on the street.
It's first thing in the morning at this point.
I feel like Will Smith in Men in Black. What's she doing with a calculus book? That's what I'm thinking right now. Not having it.
If I have an action, I would like to use Eyes of the Grave. So I'll know the location of any undead within 60 feet.
Okay.
That isn't behind total cover.
Let's see. You do this, and you sense no undead, including the children.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Their garb is strange. You all note that immediately. Not only is it foreign from where you were somewhere on the Sword Coast when you took off. This is old. 500 years old, maybe? Like...
Are they drow?
No. They're just Barovians.
Okay. Well, I've never been here before.
No, that's fair. No,
So,
but that's one
you
of the things
know.
I wanted to note about the art. Like, Barovians are these very gray, morose, strange-looking people. Almost as if they don't quite have souls.
Kind of like my own people.
But yeah, you approach, and the whimpering was coming from the younger of the two, the boy. And when you say, what's wrong, children? The girl shushes the boy and turns to you and says, "There's a monster in our house," and points to a tall brick row house that's seen much, much better days. Its windows are dark, has a gated portico on the ground floor, gated front porch, and the rusty gate is just slightly ajar. Houses on either side of it are completely abandoned, windows and doors boarded up.
You stay here and let me investigate.
Of course, our parents. They're trapped in the house, I think. Hold on, did I read that right? Wow, nice job, Greg. Little exuberant there at the page turn. Yes, yeah, sorry, I read that correctly. Yes, our parents are trapped in the basement with the monster.
What's it look like?
Calm
We
yourself.
don't know. We've never seen it. Our parents kept it trapped there.
Calm yourself.
Did your parents keep anything of value as well, perhaps?
I mean, we have silverware and some.
Good enough. All right. So, is this a one story in a basement? One floor in a basement?
Appears to be 2 stories and an attic, and they tell you yes, there is a basement.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 3 stories and an attic. Goodness gracious. My eyes were just looking at the wrong stuff. Yeah, 3 stories.
I look over to Zanella and I say, "If you want to go first, I'll follow you in, but I'll follow. You can go first."
Oh yeah, Zanella's already walking toward that rusty gate, just gonna push it wide open.
Wait,
All right.
wait! And she
God, no.
follows.
She's got no hesitation. As clumsy or semi uncoordinated as she looks, it's very, very obvious that she has zero hesitation and full confidence. You know what I mean? It's just that kind of yeah, I've done this, I've been here, who cares, let's go.
All right. Let me move our ribbon over to where we need to be. Let's see. Hopefully you can
And
see
she would not
pretty
take
much
any
nothing.
precautions about being quiet. She would just push the squeaky gate open if it was such.
Okay.
And just push it open and walk in right up to the front door to check and see if it's open.
All
I
right.
noticeably cringe at the squeak.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I follow, but I wanted to roll for stealth. So whenever you're ready, Greg.
Okay.
I'm going in on the second floor and I'm rolling for stealth. That's what I'm going to do. Like,
All right, so you're aiming for the 2nd floor, you said?
yeah.
Okay. One moment. Let me see. I need to. So outside. I don't know if reveal is going to work. Oh no. Okay, so no. I need to. You see no lights coming from inside, so I do need to know what, who has what light sources, if any, or dark vision. Zanella, you're a halfling, so you got dark vision, don't you?
I do?
I think so.
I have dark vision.
I have dark vision, 60 feet.
I'm naturally stealthy, I knew that. But
Oh,
I didn't know I had dark vision.
I think
I
halflings.
don't know that I do.
I think I do.
I'm sure shit not carrying a torch into a house, so I'm going to go with whatever
Right.
ambient light
yeah, no,
I have.
Whatever's coming through the windows is all I'm gonna have. Unless they've got candles.
Let's see.
I mean, we wouldn't have been carrying one down the road. There was enough
Not during the day,
moonlight
no.
or
But
daylight.
let's see. Saren will actually go ahead and cast Light. It's one of the cantrips he knows, so he'll just cast it on the tip of his staff.
I don't see halfling.
Give me just a second, you'll see it. I'm setting up the... This has dynamic lighting and line of sight and all of that stuff involved. It's not a huge map, thankfully, either, which is why I'm going to go ahead and run with it. Just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Alright, L for light.
Oh, that's cool. You have advantage on saving throws
20 and
against
20.
being
Okay,
frightened.
Just now reading about your character.
No, I'm reading about the halfling.
Oh. Oh, my character?
Yes.
So, just as an FYI to the other players in the game, I'm chaotic good.
Okay.
Saren is lawful good.
I am not.
Yes.
I'm neutral.
Yes.
Neither am I.
That's okay. I don't care.
Alright. So, from the second floor, from what you can see, there are 3 windows. I'm going to start with him since he's kind of the odd one out. Would you like to go for the left, the middle, or the right?
Wait, what? There's
Oh.
3 windows. Was a
Oh,
front
there
door?
we are.
Yeah, the left.
Yeah, he's looking at... You want to go for the left? Okay. He's looking at it from the outside. So Barton's going to be over here. Let me give Barton some light.
Oh, he's gonna be over there in the darkness? Okay.
Aziz, light.
He's gonna stab the dark.
Thank you, Aziz.
So let's see. So let's go ahead and whomp. Add turn.
Oh,
Everybody
here we
roll
go.
initiative, and we will just
Initiative.
kind of let everybody work in order.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that went clear off the counter. Come on, let me grab another D20.
Nope. I didn't mean for that to happen. I must be having some kind of lag.
That's weird. Yeah, that's right. Kaidos with a 19.
Yeah.
Or not 19. I suppose not Kaidos.
Sorry, I didn't change my name.
That's
the
okay.
weird thing-
Neither did
That's the
I.
weird thing about this system. This
Actually,
roll
mine
20.
is changed.
You can, below the chat, you can do as and switch to a character name that you can control.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Got
Cool.
it. That's what I needed to do.
And I actually need to do it as well.
Mine changed without me knowing it.
Must be lucky, I guess.
I guess.
I got an 18, Greg.
Okay. 18 for tick. Sarah. His character sheet. Where's his dex? +2. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Sarah's just kind of like spacing out and staring at the outside. So,
There.
Ash, are you going to wait for Zanella? Or was there anything you wanted to do during your turn?
I didn't mean to change it.
Sarah, can you hear me?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was coughing.
Oh, no worries.
So, I can't really see anything other than... Are these doors?
And no, those are windows. And the only doors are beyond the gate there where Zanella is.
Hold on, I gotta move my map again.
And you can't really see in those windows. The curtains are blocking them. Same for Barton.
Sorry, Greg. I accidentally rolled again and it moved me. So
I think you had
changed
a-
it, but I'm still in the wrong place.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. Oh, duh. Let's just move the turn order thing. Then I can see it.
There we go.
God. So we can't see anything through these windows.
Nope. Just moldering old curtains from what you can tell. And darkness beyond those.
Darkness beyond those.
The children just kind of are standing in the street. The little boy is looking at you with wide eyes and clutching his doll. He's kind of watching you from where they're standing.
Crap. Hydra did that, so I know there's no undead around. Or was that before?
That was before outside, but I mean, you're still outside, and how long does that effect last? You said a minute?
No, it was just, to see if there was undead around.
There were not.
I didn't realize if we were where we are now as where we were then. That's all I meant. Okay. I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
Or delay my action.
No problem. Just let me know if you want to jump in after someone else's turn. Zanella?
Yep. I'll have my weapon out.
Okay.
I can't. I'm not ever gonna be able to do the.
You don't. You don't have to, and I will not hold it against you. It's all right.
I'm never gonna be able to do it. I can try, but it'll always be falsetto and not what I want.
I understand.
Hey, wizard, put that light on the tip of my axe.
He all right. One second.
Jazz hands.
Pretty much. I think it's 20 and 20. Yeah, 40 and 20. My bad.
And it's as long as I don't get 20 or 30 feet away from him, it's okay, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And yeah, each square is only 5. And yeah, we'll turn off his light, turn off Saren's light here. So he can only do one at a time. Alright, so Zanella, you've got that, and there is a door in front of you.
Yeah, so I'm pushing it open or pulling it open and sticking my axe in so the light can,
Okay, sure.
I don't know how to hold this thing.
Let's see here. What is my... Yeah, wrought iron gate hinges on one side. It's unlocked and hanging open, and no problem getting in there. There's a couple of oil lamps hanging from the portico ceiling above you, flanking a set of oaken doors that open into a grand foyer. Hanging on the south wall of this foyer, and yeah, there's no lock. Door pushes open pretty easily. Hanging on the south wall of the foyer is a shield, emblazoned with a coat of arms. Looks like a stylized golden windmill on a red field, flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer to the main hall are set with panes of stained glass. And let me grab my dynamic lighting layer here and delete this door. Boop.
So is there nothing indicating a light source or a flame source existing in the room?
Correct.
Let me check. I assume that I've got stuff on me. Is it just explorer's pack? I'd be like, yeah, I can light a wick to you said that there were lamps in the room, right?
Let's see here. There were oil lamps outside, like hanging from this this entryway, but inside in this actual foyer here. Let's see.
There's nothing.
Yeah. Let me see. Making sure. Nope, nothing in here. Doesn't look like there's any candelabras or anything like that to light.
Greg?
What's up?
Can I use my action
Yeah. Gonna jump
at
in
the
here.
moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to quickly pull out my sketchbook, and I want to draw
Okay. Not a problem.
this entryway.
We'll just have you kind of do that. I'll have you keep your initiative just because it's easier with numbers and stuff. And yeah, as soon as he opens the door, you just like stop in your tracks and start drawing. Okay. Whoops. Wrong button.
And I, over my shoulder, I'm like, hey, you guys might want to just light up some of these lamps right here. Looks kind of dark inside. And then I walk into the room with the light on the end of my staff, or my axe, shining it around. Keep moving forward. So,
Okay.
Yes, please light it up.
Let's see. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and I'm at a door, right?
Correct.
And let's see, that's from him. Am I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I'm 5 squares away, so 25 feet.
Yep.
And I try to open this door. Is this door locked?
That door. 1 second. Let me get this lamp here in this entryway. That door is not locked. No.
Cool, I open it.
All right. Get dynamic lighting layer again.
I'm assuming that's all the actions and stuff I get. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll say that you can operate one object as part of your movement. So opening one door. Beyond that, I would say it would take at least an action to open a second.
Sure.
one.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's action, move, bonus to look around, whatever.
Sounds good. If you want to, I'll go ahead and give you a perception check if you would like, just to see what you can see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Perception. Where you be? I am not perceptive. Do not hold this against me.
All right, perception.
I don't know why I did 2. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did 2.
Probably because we're back on that. You have to toggle whether or not you've got advantage. We'll just count the first one. 11 of perception. Pretty much, this looks like it's the main hall. Off to the right there, you see the beginnings of a staircase. Black marble fireplace at one end on the left there, and a sweeping red marble staircase on the other. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace is a longsword. And it looks like there's a cameo worked into the hilt, but you're too far to see what it is from here. The wood-paneled walls are actually ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs. Let's see here.
But, I mean, like, signs of struggle,
None that you see here.
anything weird.
No.
Okay,
Richly appointed house.
Got
Beautiful.
it.
Spotless from what you can tell.
sure. Next.
All right. So after Zanella and Ash is sketching. Tick.
I'm gonna come in behind here, and I am going to do, since I don't see any signs of battle or struggle or anything like that, I'm gonna use 5, 10, 25. Go in here, and you said this is around about the area that had the longsword on it?
Longsword is right above the fireplace.
Yep, I'm gonna go right over to the fireplace and check out that longsword.
Okay. You notice that cameo that's worked into the hilt is matches the one that was on the shield in the entryway there. It's a windmill cameo.
Okay.
And if you'd like to make a perception in this room, you can as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Just kind of get close and you're looking at this sword. You kind of look over at the wood paneling.
16.
The 16 that you notice hidden within the relief of all of these vines and flowers and nymphs and satyrs, skillfully hidden in this carving, inconspicuously, are serpents and skulls in the wall designs. It's like you have to look for them right, cross your eyes sometimes, and that sort of thing.
I take out the old-timey pirate pistol that I have and just kind of look at Zanella and just be like, this is not good, and then continue on. That's gonna be it for me.
Okay. Barton, how would you like to ascend the front of the house?
Well, I would like to see if there. First off, is there anything around I can anchor a rope to at the bottom?
At the bottom? Let's
Yeah.
see. Let me look at the front here.
You know.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be pretty easy to anchor it to, at the very least, the... Here, let me... Saren will bring one of the torches over here and grab the wrong screen. to give you an idea. You could probably anchor the rope to this iron gate really easy.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah.
And then if I take a rope and a grappling hook, am I able to? Is there something that it would catch on up there? Or am I looking to get it all the way to the roof?
You might have to get it to. Well, there's a good like windowsill, but it's only about 6 inches deep. It probably wouldn't hold it well. So
Yeah.
you're looking at either going to the roof, or there is the option of a drain pipe. It's pretty.
I imagine it looks well worn.
Yeah, it looks questionable.
Yeah. Okay. Going to try for the roof then.
Okay.
Wind it up and chuck it.
Yeah, let's get a. We'll do just a ranged attack then.
All right. With
Do you have? I'm guessing you have the high level work thing. Part of being a room.
no. I mean, I would if I was further along.
Oh, is that a later
But
thing?
no.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like a third level thing.
gotcha. Okay.
But I'm still. That's kind of how I picture it, and so even if I don't have it, he would be going in that direction.
For sure.
So yeah, we'll just say yeah, that'll work. It's that was just a standard ranged attack with a short bow. So I mean, if you take proficiency out of that, that's
Oh yeah, that's more than enough. Yeah, you easily huck this thing not only 3 stories up, but the good however many feet you've guesstimated it to be back, and whatever it falls back on the other side, it pulls taut and does not seem to let go with your weight on it.
okay. Great.
And yeah, you can climb up to the window, call that your action and your movement to get up to the window.
I would, shoot it up there, or get it up there and then tie it off, and I'd be moving stealthily from here on out.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I'd make it up there in time or not, but that's the plan.
I'll say go and make a stealth roll, but I'll say that because it's only about, let me see, there's actually different heights for each floor. Well, this was easily accessible, and I remember reading it before. Ah, here we are. Perhaps. Yeah, it's only about 10 feet up to get to that window in total, so I would say between tossing it, tying it off, which I'll count as your object interaction during movement, doing your sneak thing, and it only being about 10 feet of climbing, and easy climbing at that because it's your rope, that yeah, you can get up to the window, but maybe not open it yet.
Okay, and there's my stealth.
A stealth of 14, excellent. Okay. And to Sarah, who's going to look up at you and then look at the door, give a small sigh, and cast Major Armor on himself and step through the gate in behind Zanella. Oops, wrong. Just kind of a very cautious, like nervous sigh is what you get out of him. All right, Ash. You have finished your sketch of that entryway. Let me pull your... There you go.
Okay. Thank you. So I can see where I am.
Yeah, you were just right over there. I just left you in shadow in bed.
Well, was I able to see through the doors to where Tick was taking the sword?
Yeah. Yeah, you can pretty much see where she's kind of...
Okay,
you did take it, right, Tick?
Sorry, I was muted. I was looking at it. I did not take it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you can see her kind of like leaning forward
Okay.
and looking at the sword on the mantelpiece.
I'm gonna kind of rush forward. What's my movement? 30. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't touch it. I have to get it in situ. And I'll start drawing again.
She She just kind of looks at you and is like, I'm not touching it.
Okay, so she takes her turn to draw. Zanella, back to you.
Sorry. I love it. Yeah. No, just walking into the room and hold on 1 second. Let's see here.
Oh, there's a stairway there? I didn't even notice.
A huge red marble stairway behind you, yeah.
What is this room here?
To your north there. Appears to be a door, but you can't tell where it goes yet. Are you gonna stick your head in?
The whole thing is a door?
Yeah, this is a door, and that's a door.
Oh. And
Yeah, all those
are
little
doors?
rectangles are doors, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this staircase goes up?
Indeed.
Oh, well then, yeah, no, I totally start looking through doors because I'm trying to find my way down.
For sure.
So I'll just go door to door. What does this first door give me?
Okay. When you
Kick.
go in there, open this door. I love how in some of the sections on the book they put it in gray where you can read, and other sections they don't. So bear with me. The centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room is a carved mahogany table surrounded by 8 high-back chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. A crystal chandelier hangs above the table, which is covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware polished to a dazzling shine. Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. The wall paneling seems to be carved with elegant images of deer among the trees. Red silk drapes cover the windows, and a tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf hangs from an iron rod bolted to the southern wall. And yeah.
Which way is south?
Okay, so this is weird. Let me reveal. I don't know if I can actually reveal the compass rose, but I'm gonna try. Bear with me. GM info. Okay, cool. It's gonna be right below Barton, and it's gonna show up now. So south is to your right,
Right.
and north
I
is
kinda
to your
guessed.
left. Yeah.
Because of the fireplace looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so walking over here, opening the door, looking in. Woo, okay, I don't want that door.
Yep.
Coming back out, and that's my turn? Or can I do another door?
You can do, if you've got some more movement, you can move a little bit more.
I was here.
Let me grab my.
So I was here, so I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm out of movement.
You can.
I probably can't even move there. I probably have to.
Yeah, you basically note that this door and this door here both lead to the dining room.
This one here leads to the dining room?
No, not that one. The one more to the right. You can't see it because of the shadow. Yeah, that one exactly.
Yeah, okay, 10-4. Cool. Oh, I think if I actually stuck my head in here, then coming back out was 25. And that's my speed, 25, so...
Well, you can take, since you've only moved and opening the door is part of your movement, you can take the dash action and take your movement again, if you like.
Oh.
And you
Okay.
can, since you're moving again as a whole action, you can open another door, I guess.
Then I'll do this door.
Okay, cool. That one opens up. That seems to be, looks like a, where is the... It's a cloakroom. Has several black cloaks hanging from hooks on the walls, and a top hat sits on a high shelf. But that's all
I
that's
checked
in
the
there.
pockets of those.
Okay.
Just
Let me...
kidding, I don't know.
You rifle through the pockets, and you find 89 silver.
No. I leave it.
Oh, okay, more fair. You find 89 silver would be ridiculous in a couple of coat pockets. 8 silver, 9 copper. So you find like a handful of pocket change kind of thing.
Sure, I just leave it.
Okay.
Because if there's no, like, map or papers or, you know, somebody's business card or whatever they use in this day and age, I don't care.
All right.
If I don't see, like, a embossed letterhead with fancy writing so I know where we are, I don't care. I guess I will inspect a coin.
Okay. The coins, the silver coins, interesting you should note that, bear the visage of a man that you do not recognize. Handsome, dark, swept back hair. I suppose it's dark, you wouldn't be able to tell stamped on a silver coin, but long, swept black hair, fierce widow's peak, and what seems to be just a very intense gaze. You as the player know this to be indeed the profile of Strahd von Zarevich, but this rings no bells for Zanella.
Sure. Yeah. So she looks at it and goes, huh, puts it back. There we go. I think that's fair enough for a turn.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, Tick, how about you now?
Okay. I saw Zanella rifling through and heard the tinkle of coins, so I go there and I take the 8 silver, 9 copper.
Sounds good. First treasure obtained.
I look over and I'm like, Tick, move, Tick. Tick, move.
I feel like we would get along pretty well.
Right? So from what I remember from the kids, they said that it was downstairs, right?
Yeah, they said the parents were in the basement.
We're in the basement, and the staircase is ascending.
Correct.
Not descending. Okay. So I'm gonna go, and I have dark vision. 1, 2, 5. So I'm just gonna step into the dining room right here, and I'm gonna look at the walls and see if I see, obviously I see the pictures of the deer and the hunting party and stuff, but I want to see if I see anything else sinister, like I saw on the mantle.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, it's another 16 for my perception, if that helps.
Nice. Yeah, you do, actually. And here, the dining room, hidden amongst the tree trunks are wolves lurking amid the carved foliage, waiting to hunt down these deer. Same thing here. It's like it's hidden in the relief. It's meant to be seen after a long time of looking.
Does the table look like it had any food or tea or anything like that on it?
No food, no signs of anything being wrong with everything's spotless. Just there's silverware, crystalware, clean, full settings, but no food or anything from what you can see.
Does it look like dusty, like it hasn't been used in a while?
Spotless at the moment.
Okay. That's my movement, so I'm gonna take a bonus action dash. Go. I'm gonna start to head up the staircase, going super slow, like stealth slow.
Okay. Can you roll me a stealth check too, please?
Yeah. Oh no.
Clang, clang, clang.
Was that a natural 1?
No. Yes, it was.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
Yeah, you
5.
slip and just like face plant into bridge of your nose into a step, and just son of a bitch at the top of your voice.
Through muffled because I'm assuming I'm face down. I just go stairs wet.
So yeah, that hurt. You take a point of damage, and you're technically prone at the end of your turn, but it doesn't super matter.
All good.
Just for a critical stealth failure. That's not really fair to give you damage. Keep that point. But yeah, you're kind of prone at the
down
end.
the stairs.
If she fell all the way down the stairs, well, I will say go ahead and make I almost said reflex saving throw, a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to let go of reflex, wisdom, and fort.
Well, I keep going in with this 16. It's either
Nice.
1s or 16s.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. You managed to slip and catch yourself. It's more of a bonk on the nose than a nose breaking damage. So keep that point because you didn't actually fall. But
Okay.
yeah, it's
So
awkward
Greg,
and loud. What's up?
I don't mean to call you out, but I just have to because of the way you said it. You said reflex, wisdom, and fort.
Oh.
I did. I fucked that up too. I realized
That's like
I was sitting there thinking about it.
A2C.
I was sitting there thinking about it, like I messed that one up. A reflex, will, and fort. His will saving throw feels like it makes more sense than a wisdom saving throw for something involving your will. Anyway, So Tick, that'll be the end of your turn. Barton, you feel like you've got good cover because you heard you heard that slap of her palms hitting something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even through the window.
The one good thing I say to myself, the one good thing about running with amateurs is there's built-in distractions.
Buddy.
I say that as I'm going up.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, you get to the window and it appears to be unlocked.
All right. Country houses. Crack open the window.
Get that dynamic lighting line gone. Gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and a stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. A harpsichord with a bench rests in the northwest corner, directly in front of you. And near the fireplace is a large standing harp, just barely visible there in your kind of eye line. Lost my place. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
Alabaster, you say?
Hell yeah.
I would go over to the mantelpiece, and I would like to do my best to appraise these figurines.
Go for it. So you get over to the mantelpiece and you go to pick one up and are immediately struck by just the amount of detail in these alabaster dancing, cloaked skeletons.
Oh.
As you pick them up, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
These are
I'm like,
not what I pictured.
yeah, no, it's definitely like, not my thing, but definitely somebody's thing.
Sure.
Just thinking to myself.
The alabaster alone's probably worth 10 golds, and to the right buyer, maybe double that.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's, let's see, how many? Several. So there's 9 of them,
Alrighty then.
and they're
Wow.
about the largest of them is about the size of your forearm in the center, and the others get smaller as it goes out to the sides.
I don't really have a, as I'm picking them up, I realize I don't really have a good way to carry them, because I would just be stuffing them in a bag and they'd get banged up.
Right.
So instead, I will just stash them in like a corner of the room
Okay.
to come back and get later.
Sure. Saren will. Let's see, where did my. Gotta get on the right layer. Here we go. If that'll do it for you, Saren will continue his way forward as well into this room. Why is his size not correct? I don't know why that keeps changing. And let's see. He's curious about this room, so he's going to open up this door here. Maybe there's a stairwell down here, he says as he steps
I
in.
was thinking.
And he kind of sticks his head in, looks around, and you hear him start. He's like, ah! Oh, it's just stuffed. And he just kind of scoots it forward just a little bit so you can see it from the doorway. There is a fully, like, in attack mode, stuffed wolf. And he says this appears to be some sort of den? Let's see. Yeah, it's a den. Ooh, stag's head on the wall, and oof, ghastly. He just closes the door again, scoots the wolf back at his place, and closes the door again. And double check. Other than that, he will check this other door here. That'll be his bonus action, or his action will be to take the dash action and interact with that. He says, this will be the kitchen then, and that'll be it for him. Suppose if you're hungry, and here's the thing. And back to Ash.
I'm going to go to the door of the hunt's room
Okay.
and go in.
Do you have dark vision, right? As
Yes.
Shatterkai? Okay.
Yes.
That gave you sight when I did it earlier, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. There we go.
There we go. All right. Oh, interesting room. I want to check this room for secret doors.
Not a problem. This oak-paneled room looks much like a hunter's den. Mounted above the fireplace is indeed a stag's head. Positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. 2 padded chairs draped in animal furs face the hearth, and you can go ahead and make that perception check if you would.
Okay.
With an oak table between them, supporting a cask of wine, 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum. Chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table surrounded by 4 chairs.
That's a 16.
Very nice. 2 cabinets stand against the walls. The east cabinet sports a lock. It looks as though it's pretty easily pickable. And the north cabinet appears to be unlocked, you find in your just kind of investigation. Holds a small box containing a deck of cards and an assortment of wine glasses.
Well, I'll take the deck of cards.
Okay. And yeah, then there's the locked cabinet, but other than that, nothing of note. Anything else?
And no secret doors.
No secret doors that you see, nope.
Damn. Well, I'll give a quick sketch of the room. You know, just vague outlines. I'm not trying to make anything detailed here.
Sure.
It's just, you know, just vague, quick sketches.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I kind of figured you're not doing any, Da Vinci work of art or anything like
Yeah,
that, but
no.
this is what I'm seeing as I'm walking through this place.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
And I'm done.
Okay. So back to Zanilla. Let's go all the way through our initiative one more time, and then we'll call it for the night since we are past 11. How's that sound, everybody?
That's fine by me.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Zanilla, back to you.
Yeah, I just walk into the kitchen and look around. What do I see in the kitchen?
The kitchen area is tidy. There's dishware, cookware, utensils neatly placed on shelves. Work table has a cutting board and a rolling pin atop it. A stone dome-shaped oven stands near the east wall, up there, straight up, I guess. Yeah. And it's bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door leading to a well-stocked pantry. And all of the food in the pantry appears fresh. Oh, other quick note. There is a small door in the southeastern on habit, but southwestern, I'll just click it real quick. Small door to the southwest corner of the kitchen, and it's a dumbwaiter. It's about a 2-foot wide stone shaft connecting a wooden elevator box attached to a simple rope and pulley mechanism that must be operated manually. Hanging on the wall next to the dumbwaiter is a tiny brass bell attached by wires to buttons in some other area, you must assume. A small character could easily squeeze into the elevator box.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she will totally walk over there and say, "Hey, Saren, help me out," and start climbing in.
He's like, I mean, I suppose, if you want. And, he
This is
just
the easiest
kind
way
of,
down.
I
Come
mean,
on.
I suppose. I mean, it might be. Have you checked to see if it just goes down first, without getting in it and risking your life?
Of course it goes down. Servants are always down. They never let servants up.
Well, we are on the
Yeah, of
first
course
floor.
it goes down.
Well, I suppose it's worth trying. Yeah, just make a quick dexterity acrobatics check for me as you're climbing in there.
30 acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, more than enough, yeah. You just need a solid 10. I don't even know why they even have that as a check, to be honest. But yeah, you're able to scramble up in there, and
The only question I would have is, I doubt my axe fits.
yeah, not quite.
Yeah.
Well, it
okay.
fits diagonally. It kind of like traps
it?
you in there, but yeah, it'll fit
Will I be able
diagonally.
to take it with me? Okay, cool. Because
Yeah.
I will try to finagle it in there. Otherwise, I'd hate to leave it behind, but I would if I had to.
Yeah, you're
I
especially
do
with
have-
that dexterity acrobatics check, you're able to like squeeze yourself in there and scooch the axe in diagonally with you. Acrobatics. Very nice. Acrobatics check. So Saren will grab the rope and he'll pull it and you'll start to go up a little bit. So he'll grab
The
the
other
other side
way,
of the
man.
pulley.
The other way.
He'll grab the other side of the pulley, and you start going down, and then there's a distinct, like, you get 2 inches down, and there's a distinct thump as you hit, like, a solid stone floor right beneath you. He's like, I'll be honest, it doesn't surprise me that it stops here in the kitchen. Probably goes up to living quarters.
Fine. Fine.
We had one in the tower where I learned, or else, I wouldn't know what this thing is, but...
I figured it went down to the basement. There was a storehouse.
That would be useful, but I don't think we're that lucky this time.
She
Do you want me to
clambers
raise you up,
back
or do you want the
out.
steps instead?
She'll just clamber back out. You said it went down like 2 feet, right?
In like 2 inches, yeah, just barely.
Oh,
It
2
barely
inches.
sunk down.
Oh, well, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I thought you said it went down like 2 feet, which is like half her height. And she's all like having to climb out of it. Like, no,
Nah.
she just climbs out.
Okay. So that'll be your turn, kind of clambering in and out of there. And
That was
Tick.
a waste.
I am going to continue climbing up the stairs after I get myself up. So that's a movement to get myself up.
All right, and I'll put you over here.
Okay. And I'm going to bonus action dash to go 1, 2, 4. So I can come all the way up, and I'm just going to come at the base of the stairs here and check my surroundings out again.
Oh, you'd be where this break in the stairs thing is. The top of the stairs.
There's a break. Oh,
yeah,
excuse me.
top of the
Yeah.
stairs is like right here.
Okay.
So like, technically, where you fell down, this is where you start. So you've got movement from here. I just still had you on the first floor representation of it. But yeah, in this particular room, let me read you the description here. Unlit oil lamps are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece is a wood-framed portrait of the Durst family. Gustav and Elizabeth Durst and their 2 smiling children, Rose and Thorn, which you recognize from the street. And their names are kind of painted on a little plaque beneath it. Cradled in the father's arms is a swaddled baby, which the mother regards with a hint of scorn. Standing suits of armor flank wooden doors in the east and west walls. Each suit of armor clutches a spear and has a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The doors are carved with dancing youths, although close inspection and a successful perception check, which I'm not even going to make you check at this point, reveals that the youths aren't really dancing, but indeed running from and fighting off swarms of bats. The red marble staircase that started on the first floor continues its upward spiral to the next floor. A cold draft can be felt coming down the steps.
I'm going to go to this door. I'm assuming this is a door right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see if it's locked.
Let's see here. Does not appear to be, no. You open this door as well?
Yep, still holding onto my pistol, so just a one hand kind of open and lean in to see what's in there.
Sure. Okay.
Luna.
Red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, which is it's hard to see from your angle. But okay, never mind. It's actually easy to see. So it kind of faces the entrance and the fireplace. It's on diagonal there. Situated in the corners. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, faces the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are 2 overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall. A rolling wooden ladder allows one to more easily reach the high shelves. Desk has several items resting atop it, things you would expect to see: oil lamp, jar of ink, quill pens, tinder boxes, letter kit.
I'm going to go ahead and step inside here
Okay.
and go up to the desk and see if I can see if there was any writing or any journals or anything that says anything about today. And also, while I'm doing that, well, I guess I'm on the opposite side of the house, so I can't check on the kids. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I'm just going to look around and see if I can find any pieces of writing that state, like, today, or that talks about something in the basement.
Sure, make a perception check.
Okay. 11.
You don't see anything. Something feels off about this room, though. And you're not sure what. You feel like there should be something more important here. Like, the seat is really well worn. There's an empty ink pot in the little trash bin. Like, somebody has spent a lot of time in here, and the fact that you're not finding anything that pertains to exactly who these people are is actually kind of concerning. The bookshelves hold hundreds of tomes covering a range of topics, including history, warfare, alchemy. Several shelves containing first edition collected works of poetry and fiction. The top of the desk has, like I said, the letter kit. Inside of that, there's a red wax candle, 4 blank sheets of parchment, and a wooden seal, like for letters, bearing the family's insignia, a windmill.
I take the wax stamp.
Okay. There's a desk drawer, and it's empty except for 1 iron key.
Ooh, taking that key too.
Okay. Yeah, you still feel like you're missing something in here, though.
Then I'm gonna stay in this room, and that's my turn.
Okay. Barton, to you, sir. You might be muted.
I will continue moving stealthily, examining the rest of the room
Okay.
for, valuables, nooks, checking under chairs,
Sure. Yeah, you don't
Knowing
seem to
that-
find. You don't seem to find anything else. If you'd like to make a perception check, you may.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, 15 perception. You feel like you covered the one weird thing in this room.
All right. Got to be thorough.
Sure, for sure.
I'll check this door here. Is it unlocked?
It is, yeah.
I'll open it very slowly and stealthily.
Okay. You open it and you see that across the way there from you is Tick checking out the other room. It appears to be a library of some sort, and there are suits of armor on either side of you here and a family portrait hanging above the mantelpiece. And that red marble staircase continues to go up. There seems to be a cold draft coming from upstairs.
Whoa, you ran all the way across there.
Oh yeah, plenty of movement.
Yeah.
You immediately catch, with your perception, you immediately catch that there's a secret door behind this bookshelf. Especially when Tick's like, is there something weird about this room? You're like, wait.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's right here.
I knew that.
I haven't known you for that long, but I figure if you knew that, you'd have already been in there.
I was waiting for dramatic flair.
Right. Okay. I will not hesitate to go into or trigger the secret passage.
Okay. Yeah, you come over there and let me pull up the library here. There's a red-covered book on this one with a completely blank spine. It's the only one in the library that has a completely blank spine. Everything else at least has an author's name on it. And you're like, that's got to be a switch. And you reach up and you grab it, and sure enough, click, and this thing just pops open. Put you in front of it just for sake of lighting. Secret room contains bookshelves packed with tomes describing fiend summoning rituals and the necromantic rituals of a cult called the Priests of Ossibus. The rituals, who knows? They could be, they seem disgusting and grotesque in every sense of the word. A heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet stands against the southern wall, its lid half closed. Sticking out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor.
Oh.
Okay. I am not touching the books or the box with a 10-foot pole. Because, magic... things that are magic tend to be cursed or have some hoodoo on them. That's not my department. I just say, on my way back, hey, you found it first after all. After you.
I just kind of eye you warily, like, but I do want to get in there first because I found it, quote unquote.
Yep. Yeah.
Saren kind of starts to go up the stairs. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Oh no, that's it. That's it.
Saren starts to go up the stairs and waits for Ash actually to go ahead of him. So he's actually going to delay. So Ash, go ahead one more time.
I don't know what's going on upstairs.
Yeah, you just know everybody else is up there. And Saren's just kind of standing there.
But nobody's called down or anything. Where did we leave the children?
The children stayed out in the street. They weren't coming back in the house. They made no motion of coming back in.
But we haven't found the way down
Correct.
to the basement. I'm going to go back outside and I'm going to ask them, how do we get down to the basement?
Okay. Walk yourself over to the front door then, if you will.
Hey.
Why didn't we think of that? Jesus.
Because I wasn't interested in going to the basement.
True.
But I came in on the second floor for a reason. Monsters in the basement, you say? All right.
Going as far away as I can.
Okay, 30 feet. There I am.
Okay. You get 25 feet to your now lit area here. The gate, which was wide open after all of you marched through it, is shut tight. And the fog and mist is so thick in front of you, you cannot see the road. You can barely see the outline of the stone wall around the front yard. So if the children are out in the road, you can't see them. And it's at this point while you're standing at the gate and you go to grab it and pull it back that the mist reaches out about 15 misty hands, slowly trying to grasp at you. And seem only barely contained by this iron gate. So I won't have you make a save or anything to try and get out of their grasp.
I lost you. Hello?
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can. I got 15 feet and then it stopped.
No, not 15 feet. 15 misty hands reach out from this mist. Yeah. And you don't have to make a save or anything like that, but they're this slow creeping as you grab the gate and kind of rattle it to try and get out. It doesn't budge. And these hands just slowly press out of the mist like they're reaching for you and try and grab you.
Can I scream?
Absolutely.
Okay, I will do so.
And with Ash Korean's, is it Korean? Ash
Korean. Ash Korean.
Kodian. Okay, Kodian. With
Just
Ash
say
Kodian.
Ash.
Yeah.
There's so much
With Ash's scream, that is where we will stop for tonight. Sorry we ran so late tonight, folks.
We all hear it. Oh no,
Yeah.
not the priest.
We need
Right?
the